What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. And as you can clearly see the title of the broadcast. So apparently, of course, this previous week, Elon sent out a message on Twitter, things like that. Of course, Trump asked him to do this. Okay. They're trying to figure out what's going on with these federal workers that are at home working. They're wondering what's going on. They want to make sure, they want these people to check in and make sure that they're doing their jobs out here. Okay. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
What the French toast is there to think about?
I don't see nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. Yes, I go to my job. People know what I do. I can tell anybody what I've done within the first 5-10 minutes of being at my job. Or a little bit more, 15. It's some a little bit less, some a little bit more. But you're supposed to be able to tell your job what have you accomplished. And he's saying 5 things that you've done, like recently here, like, maybe in a couple of days or something. Like it's just crazy, man, that these people won't answer to their jobs. Makes no sense. So we're gonna go here now. Check this out. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
What did you do last week? That's the question Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency team insist all federal workers must answer in an email. Musk adding on his social media platform X that failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. 3 sources tell NBC News those emails were already being received by federal employees Saturday, asking them to send 5 bullet points of what they accomplished last week, but noting employees should not include classified information. The deadline for replying set for Monday at 11:59 p.m.
That's all we're doing when you think is keeping our promises. That's all
the president touting those efforts at the CPAC conference Saturday afternoon, speaking to a crowd of his.
So apparently, of course, he spoke to a crowd, things like that about the situation. Hold on, let's just keep going.
Most fervent supporters after pushing Musk and his Doge team to get more aggressive.
The fraudsters, liars, cheaters, globalists, and deep state bureaucrats are being sent packing.
The latest cuts hitting.
And that's what's definitely needed. That's what's definitely needed. It is what it is. We have to send these crazy people out of the way. And that's what's going on. They're weeding out the individuals at these government buildings and things with these government jobs and making sure that these people are doing what they're supposed to do. Because a lot of people have been working from home for the longest now. And it's just time up. You got to get back to the grind. You have to get back inside these buildings. Like I've said previously before in other broadcasts, these people want to see you clock in the building. They want to see you walk into the building, give your ID badge, whatever y'all want to call it, identification, swipe it, whatever you do, scan it. They want to see you walk into the building. It's time. Y'all got to get back to the building. All right, so we're going to go here now and check out more about what's going on with this situation, because this is crazy, man. People are acting like they just can't answer what they did for a whole week. 5 things that you've done for a whole week for your job. Come on, people.
Confusion and chaos across the federal government with a looming deadline from Elon Musk. The billionaire posting on X this weekend that some 2 million federal employees would have to explain what they got done last week, writing failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. Musk's unusual demand facing resistance from several key U.S. agencies led by the president's loyalists, including the State Department, Homeland Security, the Pentagon, and the FBI.
Newly confirmed FBI Director Kash Patel telling employees to pause on responding to an email, demanding workers reply with 5 bullet points by midnight tonight. And the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, writing, given the inherently sensitive and classified nature of our work, employees should not respond.
Okay, now I want to get to that point right there with Tulsi Gabbard and Vivek. I mean, not Vivek, but I can't think of the guy's name for the FBI. I'm sorry, guys, but it is what it is, though. But basically, listen, look, these 2 people just got in there. Like they haven't even been there in those positions at least a good 4 or 5 months yet. Yeah, they need time to catch up on information and things like that they need to catch up on. Okay, they need to be briefed, updated about what's been going on, and then they can decide how to move from there about what's going on in the future. So it's going to take time to get that. And I see with these super agencies like that, the National Intelligence and the FBI, things like that, them two, they need to take time to figure out what's going on before they just start saying what's happening, because a lot of stuff that they do will be classified. So I can see that point, about just holding on for a second, even though, what I'm saying, listen, look, they're for Trump. Trump not stupid. The Elon not stupid neither. He put that out to the broadcast, the whole network, and then, it trickles down from there. Yes, at the end of the day, Tulsi and the other gentlemen, they're going to, of course, they're going to have to hold on a second before they give us information about what their employees been doing for at least a week.
Respond. But Musk insisting he's simply following instructions from President Trump, who encouraged him to, quote, get more aggressive. White House lawyers have attested in federal court that Elon Musk has no actual or formal authority to make government decisions. Some Republicans on Capitol Hill voicing concern.
He's not making the decisions. He clearly just told you he's moving under Trump orders. Trump telling him what to do.
Could say one thing to Elon Musk. It's like, please put a dose of compassion in this. These are real people. These are real lives.
The largest federal workers union blasting this latest move as unlawful and calling it an attempt to bully the hardworking federal employees that serve our country. The administration also making cuts at the U.S. Agency for International Development, placing most of its staff worldwide on leave as of today and firing at least 1,600 U.S.-based roles. A federal judge allowing the administration to move forward with this plan, rejecting workers' request to extend a temporary restraining order.
All right, so that's what's up. A judge is going head on. They're gonna slam the gavel and make sure that Trump and Elon are able to make these moves and get this information out here, which is very much needed from a lot of these government employees and stuff like that. Like I said, the national intelligence, FBI, stuff like that. I get why they may want to take a little time, due to sensitive information, stuff like that. They, plus they just got in those positions, Tulsi and the gentleman. And yes, it's going to take them a little second to get briefed up, stuff like that, so they can make sure what to release, what the government needs to know, that people are doing their jobs, but at the same time, though, too, they're not releasing too much, top secret information. So, okay, we're about to go here now, and we're about to check out the protest situations of this thing. Let's go here now.
Elon Musk is doubling down on his ultimatum to federal workers, demanding they explain what they accomplished last week or face possible. Musk posted overnight that he'll send that email again as he works to reduce the federal workforce. Meanwhile, the Department of Veterans Affairs is dismissing more than 1,400 probationary employees. Let's bring in Karen Travers at the White House and Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill. Jay, we've seen lawmakers pressed at protests and town halls across the country over cuts being made by Musk and Doge. You're at a protest now at Senator Lisa Murkowski's office. What's going on there? What do these demonstrators want?
Yeah, Diane, so forgive me doing this on the walk with you here, but we're following a group of protesters. They were just in Senator Lisa Murkowski's office. What they did was go into the lobby, stand in the lobby, dozens and dozens and dozens of them trying to speak to Senator Murkowski. They are fired federal workers, some of them protesting their terminations by Elon Musk and Doge. They're gathering right here at this door now. And some of this is the press, and some of those workers are filing in now. So they went into Senator Murkowski's office. The goal was to try to speak to staff there or the senator to protest their firing. Some of them are Alaskans. Lisa Murkowski is the senator of Alaska, who were working federal jobs, and they wanted to advocate against what they've seen from Trump and Musk. What happened there was that Senator Murkowski's staff did agree to speak to them, but then they ushered them out of the office. There was a brief moment with Capitol Police where they weren't sure where to send these protesters. They piled them into an elevator. They sent them up a floor. They sent them down a floor. And now they're in the adjacent office building trying to go to another lawmaker's office, but I can't quite tell you which member it is. But But Democrats I talk to are trying to use these kind of demonstrations to underscore what they say is the chaos brought forward by these firings from Trump, Musk, and Doge. It's part of their strategy to try to win back control of the House and potentially the Senate in the midterm election. So that's going to be a tall order for Democrats, particularly in the Senate. But certainly Democrats trying to drill down on what they say is this chaos, Diane. But Republicans saying that demonstrations like this, and also demonstrations at town halls across the country, which we saw last week when the House was out on recess, are a quote unquote ambush, as Speaker Johnson described them, organized by Democratic advocacy groups, as the Speaker claims.
Well, you know, we all know that the the lefties are losing their minds out there. Yeah, they're losing it. It's too much money being uncovered that's not supposed to be. It's too much rearranging a lot of things. And, you know, it just is what it is. These people need to take a tone of what they've been doing. You know, since most of them have been at home. And this is what's going on, because if they were inside the building like they're supposed to be, then, you know, they would know what's going on. They would know who's doing what, you know, clock in, clock out, whatever, you know, they would know what's getting actually done. Now, you know, people at home, yeah, nobody really, you know, can count that, because it's like millions of people sitting at home working for the government, and has been for quite some time now. And that's the issue.
Now, Karen, Musk is again telling workers to email him with 5 things they accomplished last week or be fired. But the heads of some of these federal agencies are telling employees not to respond. So what's the latest there again?
Yeah, and the latest from yesterday was that the Office of Personnel Management, Diane, said that the response was voluntary, that you didn't have to respond to that email. That came out yesterday after the president was asked about this in the Oval Office when he was with the French president. And the president called this idea of sending that email out, he said it was genius. Now, he said yesterday, if you don't respond to it, you're fired or semi-fired. But then there was that later guidance that said, no, it was actually voluntary. So, Diane, there's a lot of conflicting messages depending on which agency you're in, because some of the agency heads had said you don't have to respond. Those are some of the agencies that deal with classified information, classified work. Others said, no, go ahead and respond to it. So I think right now, a lot of questions today. We're expecting at the White House for the briefing later this afternoon about where exactly this stands, especially with that second email from Elon Musk, that follow-up saying that there would be another round of this where people do have to respond to it, or else they could potentially face termination.
Okay, so, and that's that. Now, at the same time, though, too, it goes back to the FBI and the national security. Now, those are agencies, like I said, that need to be kind of, you know, put on certain strings. But at the same time, though, too, there are other government agencies that these people need to go ahead on and answer the damn questions. You know, basically, that's how it's breaking down. That's the reason why some agencies are saying go ahead on and tell them what's going on, what you've done. Some agencies are trying to hold off just for a second. Now, the second round is also for those agencies with the top secret security clearance type situations. That's for them to get their stuff together, because he just put 2 new people in there. You know, national security and FBI, like I keep saying. So yeah, it's going to take them some time to get briefed up, but I definitely could see how this is going to be, you know, are beneficial to the American people, and weed out some of the people that are actually just there for the check, and others that are actually there for the people.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
And the check too. I mean, you know, I'm not crazy out here. People get jobs because people need money. People need, you know, to live lives and stuff. I'm not saying you're just supposed to be there just for the people and, you know, not get paid. Hell no. But if you're just there for the check and you're not worried about actually doing your job, yeah, you got to go. So, okay, let's keep diving. Let's see what the press secretary of the White House, what she had to say. Love her ass. For real, though. My bad. Let me rewind. Sorry about that. Here we go.
One follow-up question. So about the deadline, Alina Habba said that you have until tonight. Elon Musk said a failure to respond a second time would result in termination. So is that a real deadline? Should federal workers be looking?
And this was 4 hours ago from the making of this video today, you know, the 25th.
looking to that guidance, or should they be looking to the agency heads? Like, what is the actual deadline?
So again, the agency heads will determine the best practices for their employees at their specific agencies. Again, this was an idea that Elon come up with. Doge worked with OPM to actually implement the idea, and the secretaries are responsible for their specific workforce. And this is true of the hirings and the firings that have taken place. And we advise federal workers, unless your agency has dictated you not to respond to this email. In fact,
right. That's the purpose of what we were just talking about how certain agencies are saying, don't respond just yet. Others are telling them to go ahead on and respond because they have less sensitive information and things like that. So they need to speak up and say what the hell they've been doing while they're sitting around the house drinking their mocha chocolate. Okay. So yeah. And that's just the facts. And I get it. Yeah. Some don't need to answer right now. Definitely the ones that just got replaced by directors.
I can announce that we've had more than 1 million workers who have chosen to participate in this very simple task of, again, sending 5 bullet points to your direct supervisor or manager, CCing OPM. I actually participated in myself. It took me about a minute and a half to think of 5 things I did last week. I do 5 things in about 10 minutes, and all federal workers should be working at the same pace that President Trump is working and moving.
Yo.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Hold on. Listen, look. The Speaker of the House, she don't play no games. She been all over, letting people know what the business is. But that's neither here nor there. Yes, this is a huge situation here. I'm glad that it's going down this way. Yes, sir. Some things, some agencies may not need to answer as quickly as others, but the ones that can answer with the less sensitive information, we definitely need to hear from them to make sure that they're doing the proper things while they're sitting at home, drinking their Starbucks and shit. Yes, but it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.